Waking Up with Tanner, Drew, and Laura. Want to chime in? Text Tanner, Drew, and Laura anytime on the Lazy Boy text line at 98197. Are you ready? Get up, get up. Get up, get up. Get up, get up.
Happy Monday. Coming up in a few minutes, tickets to go see comedian Bert Kreischer. He's going to be at the Moda Center October 21st. Yeah. Moda Center for Big Bert.
That's pretty huge.
Yeah. I didn't, they told us he was going to be at the Moda Center, I was like, wow, I didn't realize he was that big, but I guess he is on a gajillion podcasts with Tom Segura and all those other people. He's really funny on those podcasts.
Yeah, and you're all over all the time. You get quite the fan base.
Yeah, and so 7:30 this morning, we'll hook you up with some tickets. And I'm assuming when he's here in Portland, he'll be shirtless, right?
I mean, he usually is.
Isn't that the way it goes?
It's kind of
is that
thing.
The whole time, or is that a partial thing?
Yeah, does he remove his shirt during the set?
I think he comes out shirtless. I've never seen him live before, but I think he just comes out like that.
Man, I feel like that's a wasted bit. You know, half of him shaking out of that shirt, it's almost like a little squid coming out of a plastic bag.
It's very distracting. You know, because I'm not paying attention to his jokes. I'm looking at his moves.
You're all nips.
I'm looking at his nip nops. Yeah.
It's hard to get around.
It's very distracting. When I was in Eugene, Drew and I actually went to do this club once and introduce some comedians on stage. And this girl was really funny. I can't remember her name, but she was really funny. But she took her top off because she heard that it was legal in the city of Eugene to be topless during a performance. Like, you could just, it was okay.
Yeah.
It was legal.
Sure.
Yeah. Might even be okay in that city just to walk around with a hoot out.
Yeah, so she, like right when she gets out on stage, and she was going to do like 30 minutes or something, like 30, 45 minutes, a long set. And she takes her top off right away.
I feel like you almost have to do that at the end.
You got to work that in.
You know,
just like you would think Bert would do.
I didn't hear not one joke. Because I don't know what she said. She took her top off, and I just wasn't, I didn't.
It changed the game. It turned it into a burlesque show from the beginning.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't recommend that, but Bert,
I mean, Bert, I guess
he's filmed the Moda Center with those moves.
Yeah,
those are Moda moves.
So you're gonna see those moves on the jumbo screen.
Man,
you know,
man moves.
All right, coming up in a few minutes, we'll do that at 7:30. Make sure you're listening to win. Laura, over the weekend, I sent Laura a text message over the weekend, and she just sent me a message back. She goes, like, bro, I just did the dumbest thing.
Yeah. And
when she told me the story, I was like, well, yeah, that's a little dumb.
I mean, it was dumb, but also I was very taken aback. What happened was very unexpected, and so
I bet you're not the only one who's done it.
I went into panic mode, and I can confirm because I got a few messages from people saying that they have done the same thing.
Right.
So
some people make you feel a little better.
Yeah.
What exactly happened?
Okay, so I'm on my, I got an email saying that my Amazon Rewards credit card balance was due or whatever, and so I looked, and I was like, whoa. That's more than I expected. Like, what? All of a sudden, did I buy something that I don't remember? Did I get drunk and make a purchase and that I don't recall?
You're thinking the bill shouldn't be that high.
Yeah.
Because you didn't buy that much stuff.
So I go in and I see this charge for $139, and it says bills and utilities. And I was like, I do not pay any of my bills or utilities with this credit card. So what in God's name is this charge, right?
Bills and utilities sounds pretty ambiguous.
So before I even really have time to think about it, I immediately claim fraud.
Right.
Like I go in and I file a claim. And so they're like, well, do you
how many seconds before when you saw that and then you were starting to fill out a fraud claim?
It was maybe a couple of minutes, like enough time for me to think about it for a minute and be like, no, like I didn't. $139, I don't even know what that is, you know? So I go in and they're asking me all these questions. They're like, do you have your credit card? And so I go and I look through my stuff and I'm like, I don't have my credit card. I must have dropped my credit card and somebody's using my card now. So I go through the whole process and they're like, okay, we'll investigate and let you know what's going on. So I get that done and I start thinking about it and I'm like, $139. And this is my Amazon credit card.
What's $139? What did I do?
Who was the charge to? Like,
well,
like
the charge was to Amazon. When I did some more investigating, it was my Amazon Prime membership that had just auto renewed but I don't ever remember paying one lump sum
This is
before.
great.
That's what happens when you have things set on auto renewal. It happens to me all the time.
But I mean, like,
The annual.
if it comes out every month, and these are things that I've learned since, because I made a little post about it on Instagram after the fact because I felt so dumb and I felt like I needed to share it with the world.
As you should.
Yeah. And apparently, if you can pay monthly, but it ends up being way more expensive if you do it that way. And just recently, they raised the price, which is why I think also I was
See, it
startled.
wasn't $119?
It's been $99. It probably went to $119 at one point.
Yeah.
I think I was just startled by the $139 because I'd never seen it before.
It's
And I
painfully
also just
expensive.
kind of assumed, like every other streaming platform or whatever, it comes out month to month. So when I saw that big lump sum, I was like, what is this? And then I just went into panic mode.
She canceled her own membership.
So now I'm pretty sure.
The great part is that you canceled it like Amazon canceled Amazon. Like
I know, and I
your
don't know.
Amazon credit card and Amazon had to cancel itself. It was like, no, but shouldn't they just be like, are you sure you paid us? Like, I'm canceling you, but I can see it's us.
Well, I know
How did that not happen?
Because you didn't talk to any actual person.
No, so I'm thinking that
wow.
perhaps
You just canceled? You didn't call
I
Amazon?
just like cut it because I was like, cancel my credit card,
Knee-jerk
send me a new
reaction.
credit card, and this is fraud, and don't, because I was just like, I don't want to, $139, I'm not going to pay that. and
That's
now,
amazing.
And now I'm going to have to pay it because I
Right.
still
And
want
wait.
my like overnight shipping or whatever.
Yeah, so,
you know, so
can't you call them and say, hey, please don't cancel my
I'm
membership?
I
I made a
think-
mistake.
I'm hoping that they'll
Because
reach out to me.
Is she going to have to charge her? Are they going to pay her another 100? Are they going to charge her another $139?
Well, if she canceled that payment, she's going to have to pay it because she didn't pay it. She canceled it.
Because they said they'll reach out when they've figured out like exactly what's going on. So I'm assuming
gonna
that
laugh
maybe
about it in
somebody
the
will
lunchroom.
contact me and be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, this wasn't fraud. This was
is
your
us."
Amazon Prime membership." So I don't know. That's yet to be determined.
mean,
We'll
I
see if
never-
somebody reaches out to me today.
I never
But-
wigged out like that and panicked and then like canceled a bunch of stuff, but I have had things go through. And then I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
And I start every time I've gotten mad where I thought my card has been like stolen or somebody's, got
your
got my numbers.
Yeah.
Every time I panic and I'm huffing and puffing, walking around my house, and anytime I do some investigating, I always realize I did the charge.
It's me.
Yeah.
It's always
was
me.
me.
And that life's just
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah, and I'm just stupid and I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, but like I said, I was not the only person who admitted to doing that. So that did make me feel a
you're not
little bit
alone.
better.
Yeah.
But also I did feel kind of dumb.
It's that whole like, oh my god, and you're panicked. You're thinking the meter's running. They're draining your
Yeah.
account. as you
Exactly. That's
speak.
why I'm like, what's next? Huh?
Sunglasses and a new hat.
Oh, wow.
Has that ever happened to you? Did you ever cancel, your own membership?
Yeah, did you ever over fraud that was actually
Yeah.
just you?
Yeah, that's like into the matrix of
I bet there's
cancellations.
guys who've been caught paying for an adult site.
Oh, sure. Be like, that
And
wasn't
then
me.
Just no, not me.
Yeah, I bet they were caught by their wives or something
Sure.
and then said it was fraud.
This
Like,
is
I have no idea what this is.
unbelievable.
Like, I wonder how many times they've called, like, you got to get this off your hand, man, bro. Just help me out. My wife's in the kitchen. You just got to help me out. You
like-
got to take this off.
Get
You're
it
like,
up.
yeah,
I'll run
yeah,
the card
bro.
anyway, but just
Yeah, right.
I'll
I'll pay for those 2 months. I'll pay for those 2 months. Just take the card off.
I'll send cash.
Yeah, I'm sure that's happened before.
Oh, especially
Guaranteed,
back
yeah.
in the day when they had landlines, just rocking those all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
I remember one time Drew and I did a bit in Eugene for, I don't even remember what the bit is, what the bit was, but I had to pay for some sort of like
Service.
adult friend finder service type thing. I had
Yeah.
to pay for some service.
All right.
Or it was for like, it was pretty sketch, whatever it was, but it was, I remember I did it for the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
It's all in
Likely story. I did
True.
it for the show.
the spirit of business.
I don't remember what the hell the bit was, but I opened this thing for the show, and the whole thing was like a month trial, and then I was supposed to cancel it, right?
Yeah.
Well, the thing went through, and I did this. I called the guy, and I tried to play it off like I didn't know what the hell.
Whoa, what
It
is all
was.
of this?
Whatever. I'm sure he hears that
Dude,
all the time.
You could hear it in his. It's like he went to the paper. He goes, if someone calls and you can tell they're lying, go to this paper.
Yeah.
And he just followed that script.
Guided you right back to
Yeah.
PayPal.
Yeah, and he didn't buy it one bit.
Yeah,
So
they,
when I
they've
by
heard
the,
it.
by the end of the phone call, I had signed up for 6 months.
Yeah, but it was a heck of a deal. He gave me a steal.
I got some good use out of it. I'll tell you
So
that.
I'm sure that happens a lot, Laura. It's no big deal. She canceled her
It's
membership.
Fine. I just hope
No
that.
big deal.
Yeah, I hope I get it back because
Right.
I need that free shipping.
Yeah, you got to be a member.
We are streaming the show on the internet, so it's actually video. We've got cameras in the studio, and you can watch the show as it happens in real time. This was probably a terrible idea, but we're doing it. I see my
Yeah.
my face. Oh
I know
my
you
God.
can't. The monitor is facing right towards me, so now I feel like I'll start looking at you two less and just start staring at the monitor.
It's like
all
when you're at a
day.
game. You know, you could be watching the game, but I, for some reason, find myself looking at the monitor all
Yeah.
the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's my
I
life
don't know
now.
why.
Definitely feel more in a cage with a camera right in your face. Though.
Yeah.
Like, hey, there it is.
Go check out the live stream at 1059thebrew.com.
1, 2, 3. And now, Bruce Sports.
Damn it, you gotta catch that ball.
Here's Drew.
Well, the United States just didn't expect it to end this way, as Megan Rapinoe is no longer a part of the World Cup roster, as this was her final run, and her missed penalty kick, she said, felt like a sick joke. Now, the United States kind of played cocky this whole time. It was the idea that, well, we're better than everyone. It's just a matter of time. Give us a second. No, we're better than them too. Give us a second. You can't be like that. You have to have killer instinct. Live in the moment. Don't be trying to hide behind the USA on your shirt, because it is intimidating. It's just like the Russians in hockey in the 70s and 80s, as it is like this, or Brazil for the men. It's something that it's hard to get around, but once they're around it, they realize you're human as well. In the United States, heading home early, and they're young lady soccer players in my family. That would have been nice to see a run here as they're in those formidable years, to see what you can achieve, but maybe next time around the block. Also, Cal's coach not happy. Remember, he's the one who reportedly turned down the Oregon job a year ago when Dan Lanning came to town, and now he's left alone. Well, he has 3 friends: Stanford, Oregon State, and Washington State. There are just 4 members left of the Pac-12, and the interesting part is we don't know who can come there because of media deals. Everyone was able to leave the Pac-12 because it had an expiring deal. So they all have to play together for 1 more year, awkward, and then break up. And the rest of those guys have to try to gather teams or run away themselves. And when a conference is over 100 years old, it really is a sad day for everyone. There's your sports.
Thank you. Oh, good. Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
It's a weekend. I was doing a lot of drinking, my friends.
It's coming clear now.
All right, coming up next, I got to tell you, over the weekend, speaking of me drinking, my dog Cooper totally embarrassed me.
Oh, no.
And caused so much chaos in the neighborhood and made a couple of kids cry.
Oh, my goodness.
I've got the audio for you that I'll play from my Ring camera coming up next. Also, we're going to play Real News or Fake News to get you hooked up with tickets to go see comedian Bert Kreischer.
Nice.
He's going to be at the Moda Center coming up October 21st.
Yep.
And you could be there too. Callers 10. Actually, just caller 10, right? That's it. Just one for this game. It's been a while since we played this. I think it's just one for this game.
And a backup.
And a backup.
Yeah.
10 and 11.
All right, 10 and 11. 866-445-1059 is the phone number. We'll play that game coming up right after Def Leppard. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura on 105.9 The Brew.
could be real or complete bullshit.
You are fake news.
This is Tanner, Drew, and Laura's Real News or Fake News.
All right. We got some tickets to go see comedian Bert Kreischer at the Moda Center October 21st.
Yep.
Tickets are on sale at Ticketmaster.com. All this week we've got these, so let's play Real News or Fake News. I'm going to read off some headlines. Some are real, some are completely made up. Just got to point out which one is which to win the tickets. Let's meet our contestant today. He is calling from Sherwood. His name is Cody. Good morning, Cody.
Good.
Morning.
How you doing today, brother?
Doing good, man, for a Monday.
Yeah. Did you do anything exciting over the weekend or no?
Negative. No, I worked and hung out with the family, so.
Nice.
Nothing fun about that.
All right, well, the comedy show should be pretty fun, and if you get at least 3 right, you'll be going, okay?
Right on.
Now, if you get 3 wrong, you have to listen to us give your tickets to somebody who did absolutely nothing, right?
Bummer.
That's correct.
Hold on a second. I got to just do this.
All righty.
Yeah. Get it out.
There it is.
Got that lung butter.
Yeah, it is. All right, guys. You guys ready for real news or
Fake news.
Let's get it.
real or fake? Man claims he's lost 83 pounds on an all-Cheeto diet.
Definitely fake.
Is that a fake story? Man,
Yeah, fake.
yeah, that's a fake story.
Thank God.
I was hoping for a second.
All Cheetos.
All
that sounds
Cheetos.
good.
Real or fake? Memphis road crew paints stripe over pretty big dead raccoon.
Oh.
I'm going to say real.
Is that a real story? It is a real story.
Weird stuff on.
I like pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty big. 2-0.
Real or fake? Kansas couple paints stripes on Deshaun. How do you say it?
Dachshund?
Yeah, I always throw.
Wiener dog.
It throws me off. Can't they just say
That's
wiener
why
dog?
That's probably why they say weenie.
Yeah, Kansas
dog.
couple paints stripes on wiener dog and tries to sell it to a zoo as a rare mini zebra.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Oh, that has got to be fake.
That is a fake story.
thank God.
Is that a win? Yeah, it's an easy
It's a
win for this
yeah,
dude.
Sweet.
Got it.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Right on, man.
You just got tickets to go see Bert Kreischer at the Moda Center, my friends.
So stuff. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, hang on the phone. We'll get your info. You also have another chance at 1059thebrew.com if you want to win those tickets.
Did the other people in the crowd, do they take their shirt off too, or do you get tased for that?
That's a good question.
At a Bert show.
Yeah, you take your shirt off in solidarity, you know.
Like, yeah, and they're like, "You're out of here, pal. No one's here for your nipples."
Put your shirt on, man, boobs. I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I'm
Free
not.
the nipple.
I don't care how
Why
good
not?
the show's going.
Yeah.
Come on, you wouldn't take your shirt
It's
off,
like
Tanner?
you lose it in the crowd.
No,
You're having to walk out.
I never liked taking my shirt off, even as a kid. You know, I'd go to the public pool, and I'd be that kid who was swimming with his shirt on.
I feel like Tanner's the
Even
guy
as
who,
an
like,
adult, like
shower.
I don't like it.
Tanner, are you a never nude? Like, do you like shower with your clothes on and
That-
stuff?
Yeah,
Is
I
there
put a
such
full
thing?
wetsuit on.
Google never nude. You'll learn a lot.
So that what is
Oh
it?
my
The
God.
people who
It's
just
people who literally never take their clothes off.
no, I could be
Well,
be
do they
nude in my house.
change them? They just always have them on?
I'd assume that they'd change them.
God.
God, I hope so.
Yeah, I do when I catch a reflection of myself. I go, "Oh God!" So I try not to be naked as little as possible, right?
Yeah.
But it does happen.
Naked always feels awkward.
But yeah,
I'm always naked. My whole life naked on the run, trying to get a towel on.
yeah. But I'm not taking my shirt off. I remember I'd go to like church camp, and there was like one time I took my shirt off at church camp,
Yeah.
and we were jumping on the big blob on
Oh,
the lake.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was launching little kids into the sky on that thing. And I just felt comfortable because it was church camp. I didn't think anyone was going to be mean to me. And so I took my shirt off, and some little girl, I don't know, she was my grade, but just ripped me and called me fat.
Oh,
I
that's
think she called me
messed
fat
up.
ass.
Kids are the worst.
That's all right. I launched her on the other side of the lake.
She probably
Yeah, like,
can't
watch
even,
this.
Hey, she probably can't even read.
I just remember I decided to finally take my shirt off once, and
That's-
somebody made fun of me
you
for
know,
it.
Oh,
and
man.
and I wish that lady knew that she's a sack.
That I'm
because that was-
41 and still in
that-
therapy because of her.
That moment wrecked the shirtless beach party you were gonna have.
Yeah. Well, I wonder where she is now. You know?
I think
She's 3 front butts away.
Yeah, I think I saw her on Cops. I'm pretty sure.
It's a good
Yeah.
chance.
Speaking
The meth
of
was in her hair.
somebody who's probably been on Cops or at least arrested once or twice, is
Yeah.
Pube Boy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Got Pube Boy on the phone. Good morning, Pubes.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going?
So, speaking of canceling stuff, so about 10 years ago, I lost my wallet at a bar, shockingly. And so the next morning I called and canceled everything. And like 3 days later, my wallet was in the mail, minus the cash, but all my credit cards and everything was still in there. But just the cash was gone, but I canceled them all for nothing. So
That's really frustrating when you cancel everything and then you like find it in your laundry hamper.
Yeah.
Or between the cracks of your seat in your car. But at least you got it. How much cash was in there before they took it out?
It was like 800 because I was gonna pay rent the next morning. Yeah, and I know it sounds like a likely story. No, you lost your money playing video poker. No, I didn't. I lost my wallet. It was horrible. They took the cash, but at least were nice enough to drop it in a post office box, and it got mailed back to me
See,
after I canceled
I
everything.
believed you up until the moment you said that. Now I think you've spent it on video poker.
Have I ever lied to you guys?
Probably.
Yeah, we can't.
Yeah, I know.
And I feel like it wasn't
honest.
rent, or was
me?
it back when he was still a drug dealer? I mean, $800
okay.
in your
Whoa,
wallet.
whoa. I sold pot before the state sold pot. I was never a drug dealer.
That's what they called that then.
And he probably went, it probably was legit. He probably went to a check into cash.
I
Yeah,
could have
okay.
sold
They took 25%.
other things. I didn't. Oh my god.
All right, well, Pew Boy, yeah, so you're not the only one, Laura. See? You're
Pew
not
Boy's
the only
done
one.
it too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
helps.
makes
It
me feel
really
so
helps.
much better.
All right,
Thank you.
buddy.
All right. See you guys later.
Yeah. The one person that called up to defend Laura was Pew Boy.
Yeah,
So
I don't know what that
Yeah,
does.
so
Laura
not
can't-
much.
Laura accidentally over the weekend canceled her Prime membership because she thought it was fraud.
Yeah.
She goes, "What is this charge?"
I mean, $139.
It is
That's
steep.
robbery.
Where did you find the card? You never told us where you found the card. You said it
I
was
actually
lost.
don't know where the card is, but I never use it. The only thing I use my Amazon card for is online purchases on Amazon. So I'm sure it's probably in a drawer somewhere. I don't know.
Well, there you go.
Well,
So-
you don't need to find it now because it's canceled.
Yeah, they're sending me a new one. It's fine. No big deal.
That sucks. But she saw some charge that she didn't know was hers, and she thought she was being robbed.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've got a lot of bills that when it buzzes my watch, I'm like, oh no.
right.
And then you check it, you're like, oh, life.
Actually, that's just me.
All right, coming up in just a few minutes, we want to know, how did a kid, or your kid specifically, ruin your plans?
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Because Drew had some plans recently, and one of his children may or may not have screwed the whole thing up.
Yeah, a wild ride nonetheless.
So we'll take your calls and hear that story coming up here at the top of the hour.
Want to chime in? Text Tanner, Drew, and Laura anytime on the Lazy Boy text line at 98197.
You won't find a lifetime warranty at every dealership, but Car Chevrolet in Beaverton believes in going the extra mile for customers like Frank.
The lifetime warranty to me is one of the reasons I buy from Car Chevrolet. My name is Frank, and I'm a car customer for life.
Find new roads at Car Chevrolet. With you all the way, every mile, every day.
It's so easy finding just the right car. Get a lifetime warranty on a car.
Bert Kreischer presents Tops Off World Tour.
I look at my dad, I go, hey dad, maybe we should sit down. I don't think your owl's out tonight. 30 seconds later, whoo, right on top of it we hear, whoo. My oldest daughter goes, Dad, look across the lake at the old man on his dock. There's another drunk, blind old white man just,
Bert Kreischer live on stage at Moda Center, Saturday, October 21st. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
How does a company become number one? At Leif's, it's our relentless focus on service, quality, integrity. We pick up your vehicle and drop it off anywhere in the Northwest. Handle your claim, use factory parts, manufacturer specs, pre-loss repairs. Something else many don't know. We can start on your vehicle today. There's no need to schedule. With our exclusive repair model, your vehicle gets in, gets done, gets out. Did I mention loaners and deduct assist? Leif's, locally.
It's 105.9 The Brew, Tanner, Drew, and Laura. Laura has got the news coming up next. What do you have this morning?
Yeah, the theme of this news report is billions. We'll talk
Billions.
about all of them.
That's coming up right after STP. Happy Monday. It's Portland's Rock Station, 105.9 The Brew.
Obviously, we don't really talk about Taylor Swift very much on this program.
We
but
should, though.
It's about time.
We should. We're all Swifties here.
She had 48 bracelets on right now.
Right. Well, her Eras tour is projected to earn a record-setting $1 billion. That would make it the highest-grossing tour of all time, beating out even Elton John's Farewell Yellow Brick Road tour, which just wrapped up and earned more than $850 million. They say Taylor Swift is about to make about another $1.4 million now that she's added new tour dates. And this is kind of crazy, I thought. Actual projections of total spending are probably more like $5 billion when you take into account resale tickets, hotels, travel arrangements, and the clothing that people are wearing to these shows.
I guess her shows are so big that they're helping out the local economy in each city that they're in.
That's awesome.
And, she's giving, what, $50-something million in bonuses to the crew?
Yeah, and she gives a ton to charity in each city she's in.
Did you see that video of her hugging Kobe Bryant's kid?
Yeah.
That was cool.
Very sweet.
It gave her hat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And she looks so much like Kobe, too. And she turned around to look at the camera. I was like, wow, you really see it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Special moment for them.
Crazy stuff. Barbie still dominated the box office this past weekend, making $53 million, which officially pushed it over the $1 billion mark. The Meg 2 came in at number 2. Oppenheimer slipped to number 3. The new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film came in at number 4. And finally, continuing our theme of billions here on this news report, there have been no Mega Millions jackpot winners since April. So now that grand prize is estimated to be about $1.55 billion. There was no jackpot winner in Friday's drawing. So tomorrow, if you win and opt for that lump sum cash option, you'll take home about $757 million, which will be the largest prize in the lottery's history if won.
If I win that money, I'm buying that submarine down at OMSI and I'm subbing the hell out of here.
Yeah, I'm gone.
Just
I'm
leave.
out of here.
Really, I feel like this is a
man.
weird time to be buying submarines, but
No,
you do you.
No, they're way down on price right now. It's a buyer's market.
Get a really good discount on a sub. But yeah, man, I'm getting out of here. I'm done. I'm done working. I'm done with the city. I'm done. I'm going to build a bunker in the woods.
Just like that, just deserting us.
For a second, I thought you were going to be like, I'm going to clean this city up. You're like, no, I'm
I'm
out
out of here. Let somebody else deal
Buy
with
your
it.
own broom.
All right. Thank you, Laura. Coming up, first off, before we do this, I want to get a talkback message. Laura, over the weekend, canceled her Amazon Prime membership because she saw a charge on the account. It was for like $139, and she's like, I didn't do this.
Yeah.
Well, that was the auto renewal for her Amazon Prime.
So just called fraud on myself.
Yeah, and canceled it, because it was just, it was just to set up an auto renewal.
Right.
Just acted quickly and then whoops.
This guy heard that and sent us a talk back.
My wife's card got charged, I think, $700 from a website called Shein, and it's like a women's clothing site. Everything on there is like $5 to $7. So like, we saw this charge and we're like, dude, did the person buy the whole entire website? Like, come on. But yeah, I had to claim fraud on that. Turned into be a whole lot of fun dealing with that.
So there's somebody who actually did get stolen
Yeah,
from.
you got to buy like 2 of everything on that site to charge $700.
It sounds like they did.
It's wild.
All right, coming up next, we want to know, how did a kid ruin your plans? Because Drew's got 2 beautiful little daughters. He's got a third on the way. And one of those little girls did kind of, throw a fit, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Wild thing.
Right. So we'll tell you the story, and we want to know, how did a kid screw your plans up? You were headed on vacation, but then the kid had a change of plans, and everything changed.
Yep.
Man.
They have their own plan sometimes, for sure.
Might be leaving kids at baggage claim if they're going to do that to me. 866-445-1059 is the number. You can also shoot us a talkback message if you're listening to us on the iHeartRadio app. Download it for your cell phone today. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura on The Brew.
on the action. Call Tanner, Drew, and Laura anytime at 866-445-1059. You're waking up with Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
All right, so we want to know this morning, how did your kid ruin your plans? Or maybe it was multiple children. Maybe all your kids ruin your plans.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sometimes they work as a team to ruin things.
Drew, you got 3 brothers. I'm assuming there were times you were all loud and your dad just turned the car right around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Changed
oftentimes, whether it was true or not, I was the one left to blame for that. So I totally understand how it happens to a kid.
Right.
Because I was one of them.
So we want to know this morning, how did your kids ruin your time, your plans?
Right.
866-445-1059 is the phone number. The reason we ask is because this happened to Drew just the other day. What happened? Which one was it? Was it Lucy or was it
Josie? So she's 5.
The troublemaker of the bunch.
So she's the animated one, the nice moms of the world would say. But yeah, she's got more fire than most. But we were gonna go do the inner tubing down the Deschutes River. So it's a pretty sweet deal. You park your car up at the top. You go to this place. They give you pay $25 a tube, and then everybody gets to take a van to the top of the river and go down it. Simple, right? They'll drive you back at the end. Well, you don't have your car. You don't have your standard gear. There's no amenities. There's no snacks. There's no things for like that. You have one cell phone in a bag.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And so we get down there and everybody starts throwing in their inner tubes. And you'd think nice, quaint little situation. There are 16 of us who are getting in the water at once. And so there are actually 14 in the water at this point, and it's just me and Josie. And she is nervous. She gets nervous about the getting into the water.
Yeah.
And what happens, and you guys might understand this, is the Kevin McAllister effect, the Home Alone effect, where one of the kids says something like, just get in the boat. And then another one's like, God, why is she being such a pain? And you see that child implode on themselves, right? And so she starts to go into the nether region, into the dark side or the upside down, and just won't get into the boat. And so I'm trying to talk to her. I pick her up. I'm talking to her, and she's, pushing me away. Right. And I can see her starting to fume, and she explodes.
Yeah.
Oh,
like she
boy.
she's so mad at me. And she's nuke mode, and she's giving me the business. And there are a ton of other people getting in the water right here. And so everyone's embarrassed. Amy's super pregnant. She's like, okay, it's always like Drew's being a little, maybe Drew has a too tough of an approach. So she comes out to talk to her. And Joe continues the explosion to no end and, flails out of her arms. And Amy is super pregnant, but she is still fierce and still mobile. And
she's thinking, too, probably, we're going to have to do this all over again in a couple of years.
Yeah, we've got one inside, and this one's currently making us question the very idea. And so the whole family's about to leave us, and you don't catch people on a river.
Right.
Like, they're gone, and that's it. We do this alone. And so I try one more time. She yells at me. Now others are looking, and Amy just comes over like the Incredible Hulk and just lifts her up and just, walks her into a tube and dunks her like a donut and just pushes her into the river. And we float away from this just absolute embarrassment. But hot hell.
Did Josie have a great time or what?
She did. You've seen the picture. She did have a great time. And I was like, why are you Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
Yeah. How did your kids throw things off? Luckily you got to do it, but there's a good chance you had to go sit at a restaurant while the rest of your family floated the river.
Yeah, if she didn't get prego dunked, I don't know what would have happened.
Never underestimate the power of a pregnant woman.
When did your kids screw up your plans? 866-445-1059. Let's go to One-Eyed Sean. Good morning, One-Eyed Sean. How are you?
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, my daughter, when she was younger and right in her last year of middle school, she got caught by a teacher. Her and some friends went out and were smoking pot and got caught. And we had a trip to go to Disneyland and Six Flags down there in California.
Oh, the whole deal.
And yeah, that all got canceled because my son, he didn't get to go. Nobody got to go. And we already had tickets and crap already paid for. And we only ended up getting like half our money back for our tickets and everything.
Right.
Wait, so was that just was it just punishment? Like you don't get to go because you smoked pot behind a school, or like what? Was there a reason why she couldn't leave the state
After
or something like that?
After I spend all that money, I might still be going.
Yeah.
Punish her when we get back.
Yeah,
or make her go and she
more-
can't ride any rides. Like
Yeah,
you can
right.
go, but you have to watch us ride the rides.
You stand with a stroller.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we thought about it, but we thought it'd be more of a learning curve because they were so excited. And then she had to realize the fact that and how she ruined it for her brother. You know, at the same time, and had to live with that. So
Oh
we
man,
felt that-
I would never let the sister live it down that you screwed up our Disneyland trip. I would never let him live it down.
Hey, Stoney, remember that
Oh, my
time?
God.
You ruined the trip?
The phones are going crazy. We'll take your calls and your talkbacks next. Hang on.
1, 2, 3. And now, Drew Sports.
Damn it, you gotta catch that ball.
Here's Drew.
Well, it's going to be pick up the pieces time for the U.S. women's national team, as a lot of the stars that you recognize are not going to be around in 4 years. That's why there's always been the discussion, is it better for a sport like soccer to have these championships every 2 years rather than 4, because Americans especially check out. Nobody wants to talk about the women's national team's World Cup hopes 2 years before it happens, let alone now. So maybe it's something to look forward to in the future, but for now, the Megan Rapinos of the world are no longer on this team, and you'll see fresh faces in the future. And with that exit, you'll likely see front office changes as well. Also, Cal's coach is just not happy after he is one of 4 teams left in the Pac-12. Now it's just the Pac-4. Now, a lot of people are concerned, though, that means that their plans for this year are uprooted. This doesn't take place until next year. That's why they were able to leave. It's the end of a media deal. If you don't sign a new one, you're going to roll out of it and come out as a school, as a free agent. It's something we've never really seen in the past, but now schools are realigning, trying to get a part of those media deals, and you're seeing these traditional programs go away from streaming sites and go back towards conventional. It's great for the people who want to keep the cables in the back of the TVs, because sports have been the driving force behind it for so long, and who knows if maybe those are the powers that be. There's your sports.
Thank you very much. All right, this morning we want to know, how did your kids ruin your plans? Maybe you had a plan to go on a vacation or just to a game or something, but the kid threw a fit and screwed everything up. Tell us what happened. 866-445-1059. Your calls after Ozzy.
Want to chime in? Text Tanner, Drew, and Laura anytime on the Lazy Boy text line at 98197.
We want to know this morning, how did your kids ruin your plans? Like Drew's daughter didn't want to jump in the water and almost screwed the whole tubing trip up.
Yeah, backbreaker, the whole deal.
Ooh. We got a couple of talkback messages from people who are listening to us on the iHeartRadio app.
Good morning, Brew Crew. So my wife and I have 4 kids, and we were supposed to have a weekend to ourselves for the first time in a long time. Just an intimate weekend at home while the kids were away. And literally the day before that weekend was supposed to happen, 2 of our kids got sick, and then the very next day, the other 2 kids got sick. So instead of getting to have any dirty fun that weekend, we spent the next week and a half taking care of sick kids. So that was fun.
And I bet he was butthurt the whole time and reminded her every second he could.
That dirty fun involved just cleaning up vomit instead of all the other fun things.
Oh, man.
Oh,
and you can't give them back. That's the crazy part.
What up, guys? Welder Rob here. When my son was just old enough to start walking, I had put a lot of time and effort into this new aquarium I was starting out. And I was in the kitchen cooking something, got real quiet in the living room. I'm like, what did you do? We go to leave to the store, and sure enough, my wallet, keys, phone, everything was in that new aquarium I was trying to get started. Yeah, that was great.
That is the truth, though, isn't it, right? Like, it's not when they're making noise that you need to be concerned. It's when everything gets quiet.
Right.
Quiet is trouble.
Casey, Beefwater Bay's in the studio. Casey, you've got 2 kids of your own.
I do.
And I'm assuming that your kids have, because you've got, they're pretty old now. Like your youngest is 14 or 15.
15. She's going to be 16 in October, and then my son, 17, will be 18 in November.
Right. So I'm assuming these kids have screwed up your plans once or twice.
Oh, sure. Anybody that is in my position that spent any time with a kid on the spectrum, you know that any event can go sideways in a hurry. So it doesn't matter if you get to a restaurant and maybe they don't have the right French fries, or
like crinkle cut, would that blow things up?
Yeah, like if it's out of what the thought was going in and it's different whatsoever, full blown meltdown.
Wow.
And so do you abort immediately, or do you try and fight it off?
Not anymore, but back in the day, like like I knew everybody's everything from every restaurant, what kind of bread they had, what kind of fries they serve. Like you commit that stuff to memory. So, but like. The biggest thing is, like, say you're going to go to the beach on Saturday. And so for a week, like, he's going to be jacked. We're going to the beach on Saturday. Everything's great. And then Saturday, it's just a disaster because there's so much, like, anxiety and so much is built on this beach trip. I've never had a good Christmas. Like, it just...
Casey, I never had a good Christmas.
You can't do anything.
Canceled.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Family vacations, disaster
This is why Casey never gets excited about anything.
Yeah.
He's like, well,
it'll be
canceled. I'm telling you, like, you just,
and you're sober.
You don't.
Casey, with all this going on, and he's not a drinker.
No.
Man, most people would have a holster with a handle.
Oh yeah,
in it.
I want to drink just listening to your story.
Every Christmas is just chaos.
Yeah,
stirring a Bloody Mary here.
Birthdays open up, and it was the worst. Like because like my mom, just went try to get him something really special, but it wasn't the thing that he was after. And then you'd open it up, and there's like no apology whatsoever. Tell you it's wrong, tell you it sucks, or just look at it, not acknowledge it at all, shift it over, go right on to the next thing.
Oh, man.
That is brutal.
It's hardcore.
I love his, he's sound like he's living his best life. He's just being him.
Yes.
Yeah. He's just
skipping
himself.
the Kodak moments.
I love it.
Doing him.
We got some people on hold. How did your kids screw up your plans? 866-445-1059. Hi, it's Tanner, Drew, and Laura. Good morning.
Actually, I was the kid. When my sister and I were like 12, we were going to go see Robbie Knievel, and my mom had just planted this garden. She sent me and my sister out to water the garden, and it was summer, so it was hot. So we started spraying each other, and my mom's like, I told you guys not to play in the water. And I'm like, no, you didn't. She's like, well, obviously it should have made sense if we're going to see Robbie Knievel, so you're not going anymore. And so we didn't end up seeing Robbie.
Oh, bummer.
Closed down the sister and ended the day. At least you dunked her, dude.
Yeah.
Have a good one, guys.
Thanks, man. See, this is why I don't think I'm going to have kids. If you screw up my plans to go see a big movie, I'm going to be pretty upset.
These types of conversations will keep you from procreating.
I guess my mom, when I was like a little baby, she didn't care. Like my mom was the mom who would go to the movie theater with the infant.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she said there was one time she went to the theater and I started crying in the middle of the movie.
No.
And people were getting irritated with it.
Everybody else in the theater was like, why in the hell is there an infant in the theater?
My mom didn't care.
She looks at us like, of course he's crying. Look at you people. So judgy.
Right.
Yeah, no, my mom was just, it was back in the 80s too, so I think it might have been a little different.
Different game. It's like, I'm going to a movie one way or another.
It's like, you're not going to ruin my plans.
I think, if I remember correctly, I think she gave me to a stranger and I was held by a stranger during the movie.
What?
If I remember this correctly, I think she just let some random person hold me.
Hey,
They dropping popcorn on the baby's face.
Did it work? Did you calm down?
I don't know. Actually, my mom could be that person and just kidnapped me. I don't know for sure.
She was the stranger.
Hi, it's Tanner, Drew, and Laura. When did your kids screw up your plans?
Oh my God, we got gifted twin boys, and 2 years ago, and they were like, I don't know, 1 month old, and we had just bought a timeshare kind of like Think Club from Vegas for $10,000 cash.
Hold on, when you say
And we were
gifted,
supposed to-
when you say
what
gifted,
do you mean? Like,
do you mean like God gifted you two beautiful twins,
Or did
like
someone like left them on your
No,
front porch or something?
I mean gifted as she got messed up in drugs, her daughter,
Oh,
and
okay. And you
she
ended
could
up
not
raising.
take the boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
No, me and my wife's just retired, and I'm well on my way, about 5 or 6 years.
Good for you.
And we were going to travel we went a trip to Mexico and all this, lost it all.
Oh.
Couldn't do it because we got twin boys. Now,
you can't take
is
them
it
with
worth
you?
it? Yes, it is.
I guess Drew's taking
No.
his daughters to Mexico before.
Yeah, you could.
I know, but you got to remember, this was during COVID. This is 2 years ago.
All right.
Yeah,
you know,
but still, I'd
and
put them under my
so,
arm like a football and just charge on into Mexico, baby.
Yeah, right, and that's so true. But we didn't want to take a chance. Now, are we happy? Very happy.
Yeah.
They
Sounds like you're
Sounds a
telling
little
yourself
bit-
that.
Yeah, a little bit. Are we happy?
They're 2 years.
Telling myself that.
Whatever you got to tell yourself.
Kind of. Well, am I mad that I didn't get to Mexico? Yes,
Yeah.
because I've never been.
No, you gotta go
any
back.
And just like you said, any beach party or anything we go to, it's a like we got to pack the car up. It takes 2 hours
Drew
to pack
was there
it.
not too long
2
ago,
hours
and
to unpack it.
he says it was fantastic.
It absolutely is, and he needs to go for the sole purpose that he'll shut up at dinner about it.
Right.
Right. Like
Yeah,
you know, this gets brought up.
Remember when we were supposed to go to Mexico?
And then those two showed up.
All right, thanks for the call, bro. We appreciate it. Yeah, I wouldn't let them ever forget it.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
screw it up?
You got to get there just so you can calm your own nerves.
You wouldn't let him forget it, right, Casey?
That's right. I would always say everything was fine till you showed up on my porch.
Yeah, right.
In a basket. Well, there you go.
Like Willow.
Malnourished.
More of your calls coming up here in a few minutes and your talkback messages. How did your kids ruin your plans? 866 445 1059. We're commercial free thanks to our friends over at Lazy Boy on 105.9 The Brew. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura. We're wanting to know how did your kids screw up your plans? Drew's kids almost screwed his plans up the other day. I feel like I screwed plans up a lot when I was a child.
And you were the cause.
It cascades quickly, right? Like I always feel like a kid thinks they have a good point at first, and then they're not able to control their emotions, and then boom.
Yeah.
That's what happened to my kid. And I was countless times, I don't know how I ended up crying on a curb and everyone else was pointing at me.
I can't, even if like I was trying to prove a point, like if I spent a bunch of money on Disneyland, I think we're still going to Disneyland. I think we might still do it, and then we'll deal with punishment, I don't know, later.
Because it's not fair to the other kids or yourself.
Yeah, that's
right?
so expensive.
Like, I paid all that. I want to have some joy in my life, or I'm going to be bitter at you even more.
Yeah, but also you mentioned that Josie at one point was doing the back breaker, which is like when you have a child, it's easy to say, "Oh, just put them in the car. We're still going to Disneyland." But if they are like flailing and screaming and making a scene, I feel like sometimes it just might be easier to say, "Okay, trips off. We're not doing it." You know?
I think Tanner's referring more to like an after punishment, like where it's canceled. Where you are correct. The back when a girl or a kid or a little boy is bent over backwards, you feel like everyone thinks you're abusing the kid. So like a lot of times
everyone's looking at you.
You just want to pack them into a car. But with our situation, since we showed up on a van, I didn't even have a place to hide this human.
Yeah.
So, and then you're just like, you're at the mercy of the court. Like, I hope they know what it's like when a kid loses their mind because they won't call the cops.
Yeah.
98197 is our Lazy Boy text line. You can also send us a talkback message if you're listening to us on the iHeartRadio app. If you don't have the app for your cell phone, download it for free today. And once you've got the Brew streaming, press the microphone button. All right, this week we are sending you to Las Vegas to see our iHeartRadio Music Festival starring the Foo Fighters, Lenny Kravitz, Fall Out Boy will be there, 30 Seconds to Mars will be there, Jared Leto's band.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's going to be a badass show. Plus, you'll be in Vegas.
Yeah.
Can't beat that.
Everything's going to be taken care of. Your next chance, actually your first chance to win, is coming up right after Nickelback. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura on The Brew. We're commercial free thanks to our friends over at Lazy Boy. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura on 105.9 The Brew. Coming up in a few minutes, I was going to play this audio earlier, but we got sidetracked. My dog Cooper made a couple of kids cry in my neighborhood yesterday.
Oh, goodness sakes.
Just caused chaos. It was super embarrassing.
Cooper's such a sweet boy.
I know. I'll explain what happened coming up in a few minutes because it was really embarrassing, but luckily everyone was really cool about it. But he did make a couple of kids just straight ball.
You got to work some of those in.
We'll tell you about that. We also have another edition of the Dumbass of the Day coming up here in about 30 minutes. And we are streaming the show, the video version of the show, on the internet as we speak.
Yeah, so if you want to see our ugly mugs, now you can.
Voyeur mode.
Yeah, we call it the spy cam. We've got the studio, the camera's set up in here in the studio, a little switcher. And it's like, when you get to work and if you can't listen to the show anymore in your car, you can watch the show at your computer.
Yeah.
And you can point out if we missed a hair shaving or if there's a bug hanging.
Yeah, let us know. Yeah.
Yeah, so check that out. It's online right now at 1059thebrew.com. And it's going to be weird, because just we know people are listening, but now that people are watching and listening, it's just kind of weird.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
We're gonna get our head around it, but it's a lot.
And I'm trying to press all the buttons at the same time as we're doing the show.
So many buttons. You already had a lot of buttons to push, and now you have even more.
It's all the buttons now.
Anyway, check it out, 1059thebrew.com, and I guess we're calling it the Spy Cam.
Yeah.
All right.
Tanner, Drew, and Laura's Spy Cam.
Hey.
That's the working title until something else comes up that's better.
It's magic for now.
Right. We're commercial free on 1059 The Brew. It's Portland's Rock Station, 105.9 The Brew. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura. And, of course, we're streaming the show now, and the video version of the show.
Yeah.
Online, and you can see that now at 1059thebrew.com. So, over the weekend, my dog Cooper made a couple of little boys cry in my neighborhood.
Goodness.
I felt really bad about it.
What happened?
So, I went to take the trash out last night because Mondays are trash days. So, everyone in the neighborhood gets their garbage ready. I was taking my recycling to the curb and my trash can. And sometimes Cooper just likes to just come outside with me and sniff around.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, I walked outside at the same time. Everybody in my neighborhood was outside, because it was like 7 o'clock last night. It was really nice.
Yeah.
Everyone's out doing chores. Kids are running around playing.
Yeah.
My little dog sees two neighbor kids. So my neighbors are old, and so I'm assuming these kids were their grandkids.
Probably.
Yeah.
They're loners.
And the kids aren't older than 5 years old. Maybe like 3 and 5 or 4 and 5,
so
something like
they're
that.
just little guys.
Whippersnappers.
Yeah.
Well, Cooper sees them because he likes little kids. He likes people.
He likes everybody. I
Dogs
think.
love little kids, right? And so he sees them and barks and runs over to them. Well, these kids clearly have never been around dogs because they just started immediately crying and freaking out. One of the kids runs into the house, and Cooper just follows him.
Right into their home?
Into their home.
That's amazing. Hey, Coop just wants to play.
Did Cooper get all the way inside?
All the way in the house.
Oh.
And my neighbor, I'm going, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Because I'm so embarrassed.
Right.
I'm so sorry. The kid, it's not just, it's,
oh no! Full bloody murder.
And now Cooper is actively chasing him into his own home.
Right.
Oh my God.
I look up at the grandparents and they've got the biggest smile on their faces. Like they're laughing. They think it's funny or something. I don't know. But I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Thank God they're old school, right?
My dog runs inside and I look at the old man and I looked at him like, what do you want me to do? And he goes, just go. And he just told me he's just sitting there smoking a cigarette. And he just told me to run inside the house and grab the dog. By the time I got to the door, the wife had brought the dog to the front door or whatever. But
working it back out.
I couldn't believe it. So it's all on tape. And I've got the audio here.
Oh, that's great.
If you want to hear it, I'll play it for you now. Cooper just causing a couple of kids to scream bloody murder. By the way, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's very faint in the background. He's pushing one of those, the little kid's pushing one of those lawnmowers that squirts bubbles.
Oh, yeah. We all had one of those as a kid.
Those are magic.
And it's playing the Little Mermaid theme, like Under the Sea or something. It's,
perfect.
It's like playing some Little Mermaid song.
Yeah.
Cooper, come here. Sorry. Cooper. Sorry. Cooper. Cooper. Do you hear that one kid start crying already?
Like immediately.
That's the neighbor saying, go, go, go. Because I looked at him like, what do you want me to do? And he's going,
I'm stalling here.
Go, go, go. This is me in their garage.
Oh, no.
Listen to them. It sounds like sirens.
That's the second
other
kid.
One.
It's just chaos. And so I try to look at the kid like it's okay, you know?
Nice.
It's fine. He's not going to hurt you.
Were the kids done with you at that point?
They were done with me. About 10 minutes later, when they calmed down, when I put Cooper on a leash, they were able to pet him and realize that he wasn't going to bite their heads off.
Yeah.
But
that's amazing. You dropped probably 30 sorries on the way out the door.
I felt so terrible.
At least, I think that's the best way that can end.
One kid's crying, you hear him faintly in the house, right? Then the second kid starts to cry.
Yeah, because when one starts going, the other one's got to go.
You got the other one all worked up.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, kids and coyotes do that. I hear one, they all go.
I ain't going out in those woods.
Listen to all them
coyotes out there.
Howling coyotes.
So the neighbors were so cool about it, because my dog ran into their house.
Yeah, that's a lot.
They could have, kicked the Cooper right in the jaw, but they didn't. They were very sweet.
That's great. And, because Cooper means no harm, but like you barrel one of the kids over, you got to deal with all kinds of crap. So at least it all ended good.
So anyway, we'll put that video online if you want to check it out at 1059thebrew.com. Just click on Tanner, Drew, and Laura. We are commercial free thanks to Lazy Boy. We are commercial free thanks to our friends over at Lazy Boy. It's 105.9 The Brew, Tanner, Drew, and Laura. Coming up next, another edition of the Dumbass of the Day.
Oh, jeez.
A lot of idiots out there. Enough to do this segment every single day, probably multiple times.
We could probably do it twice a day.
Yeah, it's pick your dummy.
So that's coming up here in less than 10 minutes. Also, we're going to check your talkback messages. So if you have something to say to the show, download the iHeartRadio app. And once you have the Brew streaming, press the microphone button to record something. It's 105.9 The Brew, Tanner, Drew, and Laura. Oh, your dumbass life. Well, this is actually about a couple of dumbasses.
All right.
Thieves were caught after posting with the cash in the cars they stole on social media.
Come on.
Well, you got to get street cred, right? You got to get some hits on that.
Yeah.
6 individuals have been convicted of stealing more than $3 million in cash, cars, and other merchandise. New York State Attorney General announced that the thieves were responsible for over 200 burglaries of car dealerships, cell phone stores, and ATM businesses.
Does that blow you away that they got away with that many and then they pull a boneheaded move
So
like that
stupid.
to get the rug pulled out?
Why would you even think that's a good idea?
You
know what I mean? Like,
no one, let alone post.
Right. As a matter of fact,
Right.
in Goodfellas, if you remember, they pulled off the heist and then they told nobody to buy nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't buy nothing.
And if you do these things, you're going to get clipped.
Yeah, that dude at the wig bought a car. You bought a Cadillac for his wife. It's a birthday present or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what
did
happened to
that
him?
do?
That guy got put in a freezer.
That's what happens.
That's what happens.
And if you're going to be a part of a criminal ring at that level, I mean, we joke about it, but that's how people end up in a cornfield.
Yeah.
Yes, they were responsible for over 200 burglaries of car dealerships, cell phone stores, and ATM businesses. The culprits posted themselves on social media minutes after their crimes were committed. This allowed investigators to link the images of the stolen items with the criminals themselves.
Dude, how dumb are you?
Some of the photos posted to social media included the interiors of the cars and large amounts of cash.
I mean, you might as well tag your location just so we can make this a little easier.
Idiots.
West Palm Beach and this chain. Link
Yeah.
them up, baby.
Yeah, it blows my mind, but I'm grateful for the stupid ones because it makes me realize that my life isn't as bad. I'm not as dumb as I think I am because I'm not doing stuff like that.
It also gives me faith that if something like that were to happen to me, if I would be victimized by one of these people, most likely they're going to be stupid enough to just incriminate themselves anyway. So it's only a matter of time before they get busted.
Yeah, just search your feed. Your jewels will show up eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're so dumb because of course cops are going to be doing that. They're going to be looking for people flaunting a bunch of money on the internet.
Yep.
They're going to be.
And you'd think because you've seen people do this before and get caught. So why wouldn't you learn from their mistakes and maybe don't do that?
And what's on the line? You got 200 carjackings or whatever, or homejackings. Isn't that a criminal enterprise? Isn't that racketeering?
Yeah.
Isn't that so much more than a B&E?
Maybe they'll get some other charges thrown at them.
Heavy time.
They're going down for that $3 million in cash. That's a lot of money. Lots of money. You can send us a talkback message anytime if you are rocking us on the iHeartRadio app. Download it for your cell phone. It's free. And once you've got the Bruce streaming, press the microphone button like these people.
Hey, the question is, when have kids ruined my plans?
Yes.
Always. Every time. I dare you to come up with a scenario where you were having fun and just thought, boy, if only there were some loud, obnoxious, messy, screaming, yelly kids here. Kids always ruin your plans.
Yeah.
By definition, that's what they do.
You can tell that guy's been through it.
He's done.
That
Do you
guy.
think
He's about to pull the van over.
But do you think he has children, or do you think he just has like friends who have kids? And
I'm almost certain he does, just because of that tone. You got to earn that.
He sounded defeated.
But I mean,
only
so
fathers can be that
loud,
defeated.
obnoxious. Like it sounds like he genuinely hates his kids. If
Let's
that's
say
the
this.
truth.
I
You know?
hope he does not have kids, but he had a tone about him.
Hey, 105.9 The Fruit, Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Talking about desserts, you guys forgot completely about Nutter Butters. I know you poo-pooed peanut butter, but if you haven't tried Nutter Butters and enjoyed that sweet peanut butter cookie combo, you don't know what you're missing. I honestly don't buy them because I can't stop. They are not a one cookie and done type dessert.
I see.
Listen, I think Drew poo-pooed peanut butter cookies, but
You love the PB.
am a fan.
PB.
I do.
The peanut butter cookies are pretty good.
And
I like them.
I mean, he's explaining a Nutter Butter to us like it would be un-American to not
Yeah.
know what a Nutter Butter
Hey, what
is.
am I, a terrorist? Of course I've had a Nutter
They are
Butter.
delicious. This is the land of liberty. Come on.
Oh, you never had a Nutter Butter?
What's wrong with you? I like the little mini ones that aren't shaped like the nut. They're just like the little circle ones, so you can pop like an entire handful.
Little Nutter Buddies.
Yeah, exactly.
Nutter Buddies.
sound delicious
real
right now.
tasty.
You call them little nut butts.
I mean, we would eat any cookie in front of us. It's just, beggars sometimes can be choosers.
Yeah, well, I love a good nut butt.
All right, coming up in a few minutes, we're going to find out what has gone viral with another edition of What's Trending. Hang on. Portland's rock station, 105.9 The Brew. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura. And we are streaming video now on the internet. So if you are in the car watching or listening to the show and you want to watch the show when you get to work, you can pull it up on your computer. Because we got a bunch of cameras in here and a switcher, and it's different because today's the first day we're using it.
Yes, it's a little clunky. We're knocking the rust off over here.
But it's going to be great as soon as we ignore that it's happening, right? Because you know the camera's on for the first time.
Right. But you can check that out at 1059thebrew.com, or you can go to our Instagram and Facebook pages at 1059thebrew and find the link that way.
And judge away.
Someone said, I think you guys should, by the way, we're calling it the Tanner, Drew, and Laura's spy cam.
Yeah.
Because you could peek into what's going on on the air. And someone said that you guys should actually call it the glory hole, or at least let the listeners pick.
Oh. Well,
the glory.
I don't mind letting the listeners pick, but that one at the top of the list. There are no bad ideas.
It doesn't really
doesn't roll off the tongue though.
Yeah, because the glory hole's something different. This is more like a peep show,
and you want to see through the hole, not
Yeah, and we can't call it the peep show because there's another show that calls theirs the peep show. So
okay,
we got to call ours something different.
But we're taking the glory hole off the table.
We're taking glory hole off the table though.
Yes, we got to call a room with a metal floor.
You sure you want to take that off the table, Laura?
Pretty sure.
All right.
All right.
Take that off the table. Someone says people want to see more dancing on the camera.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what you need.
Vogue.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, every morning there's a lot of effort that goes in already when you add choreography. We'll be ready, just not yet.
Someone said, Fat Thor says every time Beefwater comes into the studio, he should be wearing a costume.
It sounds expensive.
Now that the cameras are in here, I think we should find like a steak costume. How funny would it be to just have like the beef cam?
Oh yes.
And he's for 4 hours standing in the corner in a giant T-bone steak suit.
I could see him looking great in that too.
Yeah.
He's the meat guy.
Laura, get on that, will you? If you could.
Sure. Yeah. Great.
We could have a little stack of wardrobe in the corner for Case, and he can just put it on like Mr. Rogers.
Yeah. Look like a nice marbled ribeye over there.
Ooh, delish.
Also got a talkback message to the iHeartRadio app.
So the question was kids ruining vacations. Try taking a total of 4 people, 2 adults, 2 kids, to Disney World, dropping over $10,000 to do that, and they throw a fit every 15 minutes. And I know it was every 15 minutes because I counted.
Oh, man.
Keep it real.
Over $10 grand to go to Disneyland. I feel like it's not worth it taking the kids that are really, really young because they're not going to appreciate it.
Like they're not going to remember
They don't care that you spent 10 G's. They don't even know what that means.
And once you break my spirit, I'm no fun to be around either. So like these kids doing that, it's not the happiest place.
I feel like the good age is around 10 to take them, maybe a little older.
Whenever they can get on the rides, because if you can get on the ride, you can understand reason.
I knew an 8-year-old who was almost as tall as me. And that kid could probably do the rides and be just
there are a lot of 8-year-olds who can handle not having a fit. You get to stay and you get to have candy later. Chill.
Mutant child, Laura.
Goodness sakes, yeah. What was he eating?
The Fukushima plant, I believe.
Yeah, he was from near a river.
But yeah.
Oh boy.
So anyway, what were we saying?
I don't know.
Have your kids grow up a little bit before they ruin somebody else's Disney trip.
Exactly. All right, let's do this. I love this clip. Hank Williams is probably rolling over in his grave, but I love this clip. Somebody, I guess it's artificial intelligence actually, put together a song with Hank Williams' voice.
So awesome.
And he's actually performing Straight Outta Compton by NWA.
Everyone needed this.
Maybe,
whether you thought so or not.
Well, maybe Hank was a big NWA fan. You don't know.
This is Hank Williams with the power of AI singing Straight Outta Compton.
All right.
Straight outta Compton, crazy mother named Ice Cube. From the gang called Fellers with Attitude.
Fellers with Attitude.
When I'm called off, I got a sold off. Squeeze the trigger and bodies are hauled off. You too, boy, if you with me, the police are gonna have to come and get me off your ass. That's how I'm going out for the pump mothers. Showing out.
Yeah, so you fellers, you log on to the website, 1059thebrew.com, and just get a gander of this.
Yeah.
I think we did end up dancing. We fulfilled that other person's promise too. Dancing that happened.
A little 1-2 step to this. I love that. That's my favorite part is when he goes, oh.
Yeah, I'm coming straight out of Compton.
Wow, AI really stepped stepping it up.
One of
How
their
is
better
it doing
cuts.
that? That is just
It
so
makes me
creepy.
nervous.
And it makes me nervous because how long have we been on the radio? Drew and I, you've been doing a show together.
Almost 20 years.
You and I have been doing the show together for almost 20 years.
They could
There's
make
so much
you
audio.
say whatever they want.
And apparently they only need like 3 or 4 seconds of your voice to do what they want to do
So
with
how
it.
do you then prove, like, if somebody wants to make you sound like you're, saying something real offensive or
How
something
can
to
you
get you in
prove
trouble,
it wasn't you?
How do you prove that it wasn't you?
That's what's
don't
tough
know.
because all they got to do is take our voices, make it seem like we don't know we're being recorded, and change everything you say.
I don't know.
So, which means we never said it. It wasn't us. Forget about it before.
Yeah. Anything sketchy you hear come out of the show, it
Wasn't us.
Wasn't us.
With some
Couple of,
AI.
a couple of popcorn farts over here. There ain't nothing bad about it.
So go check out the Hank Williams clip when you get a chance, 1059thebrew.com. You can also check out our Dog of the Week.
Yeah.
Trying to find forever homes for these puppers. We teamed up with the Oregon Humane Society, and this week, let me pull him up. He's really cute.
Yeah, let's see a pic.
His name is Alfie.
I always got to see a
like
pic.
that name.
Alfie.
Look at that.
Get a rating on Alfie
Oh
over there.
my God. He's I just want to squeeze him. He has like a beard. And he's very floofy.
He's a bearded collie who's a little over 2 years old and weighs
I didn't
37
even know
pounds.
that was a thing. Oh,
Yeah.
I need to have him.
He's by design with beard.
Yeah, Laura. I'm telling you.
Go get him.
You should look at it.
He's got a bow. Are you sure it's a
I guess he was found as a stray in Washington County.
He looks
and
like he was a stray. It looks like he's seen some things.
no one ever came to the Washington County shelter to find him. And apparently he loves company. He loves the company of humans. Likes being really close to people. He's a little bit clingy, maybe.
Bring him home, baby.
But needs a
like
forever home, yeah. Go check him out. 1059thebrew.com. Laura's.
I know. It broke her voice box. She was like,
cannot compute too much cuteness.
All right, so that does it for us. Yeah, that's it.
That's right.
We're
That's
done.
it. A whole show with a live stream. It happened.
That
First one, the first
day.
one.
It's all
The
downhill from here.
inaugural, as they say.
Yeah.
The equipment didn't catch fire. It's all warm, but it's not on fire. We'll take it.
Yeah, the cameras were overheating last week, so I'm a bit concerned about that.
Oh, yeah,
So
Looking
toasted.
hot, but you can
Yeah.
fry an egg on it, but it's on.
we just have 4 GoPros in the studio to shoot
Yeah.
the show.
In case we do flips.
Yeah, in case I want to just do a sweet trick on a skateboard
a
or
couple
something.
of grabs.
But they were on sale on Amazon Prime Day.
Yeah.
They were on sale for like $250 or something.
Got
And,
him for a real bargain.
yeah.
Yeah, it was either these or the toilet cams. These were a little cheaper.
And I told the boss, I go, I'm never going to shut up until you buy the stuff for us.
And so
And
bing
he
bong.
was like,
they
all right.
found the money. They shook the money tree and found it for
It's
us.
like, you
so.
guys
That's right.
talk too much as it is. So.
We'll take it.
Go check out the video stream. It's online, 1059thebrew.com. We will see you tomorrow. We'll do it all over again with more tickets to go see comedian Bert Kreischer at 7:30 in the morning. Teresa's next. We'll see you tomorrow. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura. Bye.